Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shenanigans. The crew aboard the maiden voyage, that's the name of the ship, makes it down to the bottom of the river and gets to G.N.o.M.E.
Okay, just out of curiosity, so there was the gnome, or there was the troll that was trying to sink the ship that I tore its head off, and there was the other one that I killed on the deck.
Yes.
So, do they only regenerate from the head, or do the
largest part of the troll will regenerate? How they know which one's the largest, we don't really understand. But also, how does light behave like a particle and a wave at the same time? Right? These things we just don't understand them. So it's okay.
Well, the whole light thing is because they're bi-curious.
Light is bi-curious. Yes. It kind of is a particle. It's kind of a wave. You know, you give it two slits to go through and it doesn't know what to do. Yeah. Just interferes with itself all the time. Yeah.
Well.
I get it, Rob. All right, I'm going to delete your ship and all of its possessions. It's gone. You guys arrive at G.N.o.M.E. It is a town of a relaxed, lounging, what do you call it? Think of it as like New Orleans, but like the chill part of New Orleans before Katrina, before it was underwater and a mess.
So they definitely freaked out by our appearance.
I don't know. Maybe it just thinks they're costumes.
Yeah, you guys arrived and people are wearing masks and there's some parties going down on the streets.
The spider could be afloat.
Yeah, you know, maybe it's just a construct that's really whatever's going on. There seems to be some sort of happening down here. Little Bobby thanks you for helping them out. Collects the money that you guys owe him, which is technically there's only 5 living people that you brought, so it's 5 gold pieces.
So question, Neal, with the regeneration, it seems like you're doing it a little bit differently than standard 2E.
Yes.
What I wanted to find out is, could these 2 heads that I've got watch in horror as I keep eating their bodies to keep them under 0 hit points?
You leave the head intact, like plaster it to the wall, and then just like eat its legs while watching it watch you eat its legs?
Yes.
Oh my god.
You're thinking so not ambitious enough. See, this troll biggest piece regeneration thing, this could be used for like long distance travel, right? Because you cut off part of it, right? And then it causes the other part to be the bigger one. And now that part's
I have a feeling we've
so
talked
you can
about...
send one bit of information long distances instantaneously or relatively instantaneously. So you set up 8 trolls and you chop them in certain orders to create bytes, and then you have the trollternet.
I have a feeling that we've talked about the troll farm like a year ago.
Yeah.
Right, Connar? Something about a troll farm.
Something about a troll farm.
Yeah. Someone keeping trolls in their basement for meat.
So here you are in G.N.o.M.E. They are all just so laid back and having a good time, and there's beads being passed around and people dancing in the streets, alcohol flowing down the gutters when it gets, knocked over. It's a mess.
There's some voodoo. It's voodoo.
Given how laid back it is in this whole party town thing, and that part of my thing was I was realizing I've got to secure a supply. Do I smell any familiar smells?
Yes, you do smell a familiar smell. What is that, Rob? Is that cat that you smell? Is that a kitty cat?
Well, I mean, that'll be good for snack too, but I was thinking, I've only got so many brownies in that backpack.
Oh, that familiar smell. Certainly you drugged out Xenomorph. There is whatever you're looking for here. It's New Orleans, right?
I go looking and gather.
I don't party like that sober.
Not quite understanding anything about ownership. Don't really have a concept of that either. And if there's any cats, I'll eat a cat too.
Okay. Shit, what was the cat's name?
Jonesy.
Jonesy. That's it. Sure enough, you can find a little kitty that looks just like Jonesy. It is playing with some catnip right now.
All right.
And I guess you can ignore that and consume the cat. And sure enough, you can find someone as you
I'll have the catnip too.
As you skulk in the shadows, a drunk party goer wanders down the alleyway that you're in and pauses and looks at you and is like, "Nice outfit, man. Whoa, that's really good."
So is he smoking any star leaf or anything here?
Yes, he has, what is the appropriate term? A big doobie? I don't know.
No idea.
Look, I didn't live through the 60s and 70s. I don't know what these things are called, Rob.
Is this a thing you speak of?
Good job.
No, man. It's in, not out.
I keep pointing at his little cigarette.
He passes it over. Kids, don't do drugs. You will become a xenomorph, and not the good xenomorph that hunts people, like the shitty xenomorph that gets burned to death really quickly.
Unless you're playing on Shenanigans, then drugs solve a lot of problems.
They really create more problems than they solve.
But at least for a session, they solve problems. As evidence is in the past episodes.
I don't know. I think more people have died as a result of their interactions with narcotics in this campaign.
Yeah,
I remember stealing a bucket of crystal meth from a guy, killing him, and giving it to a cow. So
yeah, and that cow also later died. So 2 out of 3 people that interacted with them perished.
Anyway.
Anyway, we're moving on.
From rehab.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about the alien getting high in the streets. We're
We're
here
here to go get some white phosphorus.
That's what we're here for. So let's keep ourselves focused.
I really thought it was naphtha.
Some self-oxidizing flammable agents.
Mm-hmm.
Kids don't play around with self-oxidizing flammable agents.
Or
It
do
could
it.
be
Get
naphtha.
severely burned. Your parents are going to be paying the bill anyway.
So we go to the docks?
You go to the docks, and there are plenty of boats in the harbor. Those that are not originally from G.N.o.M.E are not participating. Most of them, some of them are. And you're looking for a boat that'll take you to G.N.o.M.E.
No.
All right. The first ship that you pop up to, let's get rid of the festival music or put it in the background. You can still hear the party from wherever you are. Docks District, here we go. You come across the first ship. It is called the Skiff Skipper.
Okay.
And they're sitting on the port side railing is an older gentleman. Looks like he's in his 70s or so. White hair. Wrinkled, pockmarked face, weathered face, that's the term for it. Eyes that are slightly hazy gray. His hand on a thick piece of rope that's holding the ship to the dock. And he
Excellent.
spots you guys coming down.
Yeah, what up?
Yeah,
I need
what up?
passage to G.N.o.M.E. and back.
Did
I
you
gotta
say
buy
no?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I don't... Like, I need some work, but that's a place I don't like to go. Tell me this is important.
It's pretty fucking important. And I'll, like, jingle a bag.
Oh.
I need passage for myself, these people behind me, her weird shit, and a cart. And then on the way back, the cart will have shit on it.
Well, we got plenty of room, and if we're going to know, no one else is coming with us, so you'll have the whole ship to yourself.
Perfect. How long is it going to take?
Home and back. We might never come back. You know that? You ever considered that? We might go
Yeah,
and they'll
why-
have... Well,
That's why I'm
look,
paying you.
the last time I went to G.N.o.M.E, they had some sort of steam-powered grappling hooks that they'd shoot out to ships and then drag them to shore to, like, better aid in their towing mechanics, because gnomes are terrible sailors, of course. Ripped apart the banister that ran along my whole ship. Punched a hole in one of my sails, too.
So you're saying that they ground their ships?
I'm saying they tried to use what they called a tractor beam to pull us in. It was terrible.
But you said they pulled them towards shore. Why
Yeah, towards the dock. Yeah. Yeah, that's how they wanted me to tie up to the dock, was just by launching a grappling hook with a rope and then pulling me to the dock.
Seems pretty
I
Those little
assume
fuckers.
Told them no, and they did it anyway.
Yes.
All right, well, that's why I'm paying you.
All right.
Cool, so let me go grab a cart real quick, and I'll be ready to go.
All right.
I go buy a
Let's-
cart with, like, a donkey, so...
So here's the deal. I'll charge you regular rates, but if any damage happens because it's gnomish in particular, right? Like sea monsters, you're not liable for, but gnome-related damages, I'll charge you for. All right?
Sounds good.
Okay, good. Other than that, regular rates. You go into Birkin or Flang?
Which...
They're about equidistant. I mean, Flang's a little farther, same price.
Same price. Is flying bigger?
Flang is much bigger.
Yeah,
That means their supply is going to be a lot bigger. All right, yeah, let's go flying.
All right, so Flang it is.
Go buy the cart. How much is the cart and a donkey?
A vehicle, a cart. An open cart is 2,000 copper, and a donkey is 800 copper.
All right, 28 gold. Perfect. Boom.
All
Hey,
right.
the donkey, can you just use the zombie sword spider?
I'll get a donkey, so that way we actually do have a cart now in the future. And when someone says, "Oh, there's a cart," Neal's like, "No, there's no cart. I have a cart."
All right, it's going to be a 6-day voyage to Flang. You are on a medium-sized ship with 2 masts. There is also a row or a deck for rowers should they need that little extra bit of speed. But it kind of looks like the person is missing the crew for the rowers, so you're going to be under wind power the whole time, unfortunately. Yeah.
It takes a lot of upkeep to be under oars.
Yes, it does. But it does dramatically increase your speed. You can double your speed with oar power if you need. But, yeah, it's a bitch. So,
got the
off
spider.
you go.
8 legs, 8 oars.
That's true. If each spider leg could hold an oar, but they're sword spiders, so maybe they can just, like, put its legs in the water and paddle.
True.
Well, you build like something that you can put onto the ends of the legs that is like an oar. Like,
Why can't you just like strap an oar to each leg? It doesn't get tired, so it's basically like a motorboat.
That's true. That's true. The spider becomes the motor on the boat.
Anyway,
Just-
let's go.
Anyway, you guys head off to Birkin. To Flang. Let's see. Off we go. Let's kill the music festival.
Before we go, I gather a bag of cats.
now we have someone with a bag of undead rats and someone with a bag of
Bag of
cats.
cats.
Somebody
Just-
needs to clean it up.
Well, I mean, there won't be any left when we get there.
Yeah, it'll be fine. You can throw the bones overboard.
Or you leave them to Droopy.
Or you leave the droopy.
You can have, yeah. Then every cat I eat becomes an undead cat for Droopy.
Yeah, and then you have Zats and Zats.
How many cats does he have
And
needed?
then we start a ferry system, and like it's self-driven, and all Droopy has to do is use his army of cats.
Rob, please roll me 3d8 for the number of cats in your bag.
Small cats, let me check.
3.
You have 13 cats in a bag.
Are they wild cats or domestic cats?
Can you ever really domesticate a cat?
Okay, that makes a difference in terms of hit dice.
Okay, you sail. You leave Bon-May in the dust, in the parting dust, come along the coast, pass the Iron Ridge over here near Krublin. You do hear the screeching of some harpy. But it's not harpies. What's the other?
Siren.
No, not siren, not harpy. There's a third coastal winged woman that fucks with sailors. What is it?
Eddie McCarthy.
No. Siren? Sirens. No. Sirens, harpies, and
Ag.
hags.
No, hags are witches.
What is
Basically,
what is it? Well, you hear some weird shrieking thingies, but they're busy attacking another ship. So it doesn't really matter what their name is, but it's going to drive me crazy that I can't remember what they're called.
Mermaids?
No, they're flying creatures.
Harpies.
Oh, no, harpies?
They're not harpies. They're the other one. Isn't there another
Shaking
one?
harpies.
No, I think harpies.
There is another one, yeah.
Maybe it's just harpy. You
Harpy.
see another nearby ship getting attacked by harpies. It's maybe a mile away. Your captain wants nothing to do with it, and unless any of you want to intervene, you can just sail right on past.
No, I'm fine.
Cool. All right. 5 days later, you guys arrive in Flang, in G.N.o.M.E, at their capital city. As you approach, you can see these tall walls made out of, like, it's stone at the base, and then there's a layer of logs, and then there's some more stones, then there's some palisade spikes sticking out with some barbed wire over that with more stones stacking up above it, and then some downward facing spikes with barbed wire on it, and then finally some parapets behind which there's a series of bodies that are just waving back and forth, like...
Let me guess, those are mechanisms. Oh my god, they're having a whole party up there.
The docks are similarly constructed. Each one looks like it was designed by a completely separate person, and none of the piers are even remotely similar. You know, one of them is quite tall and made out of wood. One of them is just barely above water level and made out of stone. You know, this other one over here is kind of a combination of like just rocks that have been thrown in, covered with dirt, and then grass growing on it to try and like keep it more in line with nature or whatever. And then a fourth one is made out of kelp, or someone has piled a whole bunch of kelp in the shape of a dock. There are a few boats all attached to the unreasonably tall stone pier. The other piers are not in use at all.
Do they have a cardboard cutout of Michael Jordan moving around on top of the toy train?
Only during the holidays. All right, your ship begins to arrive. Your captain looks at you all and goes, I hope you know what you're doing in there.
He says in the background, Droopy's like stuffing a skeleton cat back into the bag.
I mean, kind of.
Well, may the gods have mercy upon your souls.
We should be out by the end of the day. No.
All right.
If it's later than that, please pray for us.
I'm just going to sit out here in the harbor and give you guys a long ship to row to shore with.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right. And you guys can row.
Yeah, we'll row.
It'd be hard to get the cart back on that.
That's true.
Can our spider get on the rowboat?
I guess the spider floats as long as there's no holes in its hull.
Question, Neal, just for the spell purposes, what spells I want to have for this. Etherealness, does it let you walk on water?
Will put you in the ethereal plane. Water is basically a solid in the ethereal plane, so yes.
Okay, good to know. Then I don't need water walking, at least, as long as I have etherealness.
All right, yeah. We find a way to get to shore with the cart.
Well, there is a very large mechanical crane that looks like it's designed for picking things up off of ships.
You can also ford the river. Does that usually goes well?
You're not really in a river, you're like in water.
River's water. We're in a harbor.
Yeah. I don't know if you could ford with... I don't know if you could ford the harbor or the ocean with your cart, but you could try. Maybe it's a watertight cart. Maybe you could just float it. Maybe the cart could be your boat.
Yeah. I mean, even if you put it in the water, wouldn't it float?
It might. It might. You might have to bail it out, though.
You might have to try and dock to get the cart on.
Yeah, I remember from Oregon Trail that you can float the cart.
That's true. If Oregon Trail says you can do it, you can do it. So you guys
I'm pretty
float
sure
your
the cart
carts
would-
Of course, I think
successfully.
there's like a 25% cholera chance if we do.
It's not contaminated water. They've invented chlorine gas here, which they use to decontaminate the water. It's great. Anyway, you successfully ford your ship to shore, or ford your cart to shore. Upon which you are greeted by 3 gnomes who come over to eagerly watch you bring your cart on shore. It is 2 males and 1 female, and the moment you get onto shore with it, the female walks up and goes, "Wow, that's amazing. Are you
Thank
guys
you.
ready for your gnomish hazing?"
You can go fuck right off. I'm just here to spend money.
I
Funny.
speak that language too. What
Yep.
do you need? A pair of shoes?
I need 3 things.
Uh-huh.
I need your non-flammable fire, as much of it as I can buy.
Non-flammable fire.
It's fucking.
Wow,
your
that's certainly bound to
self-oxidizing-
draw someone's ire.
Yeah, it's the self-oxidizing flaming agent. All right.
Oh, you mean the inflammable fire?
Yeah. We're looking for the
Self-oxidizing flammable agent.
Well, why
While
didn't
they're
you
having
say
that
so, sire?
conversation, I'm like
I did. Anyway,
looking over one of them.
that's the first thing.
This is what we desire.
Second thing
I sing
is-
with my bow.
The second thing we need is it's got to be like recent stuff. All right, like
You want 5th generation inflammable fire.
yeah, the stuff that came out no later than 5 years ago.
Certainly. The 4th generation, well, that recipe was a recipe for disaster? Look, it brought the demise of many gnomes. They never got a chance to go to their homes.
I understand that. The third thing is a way to get back to that ship that's out there, that's anchored out there, on a smaller boat without a. I want the plebeian way back to that boat. I want it simple. That isn't just floating this out there. I'm not quite sure.
I know a simple way to your ship, and it's designed for all those who are very hip. Come find
What
me.
is it?
I'll get you there myself. Don't
No,
worry
you're gonna
about
tell
it.
me what it is
I
before
don't
I.
trust this gnome.
What is it?
I'm just gonna pull a plan off the shelf.
Remember what he was saying earlier about the device that like is really complicated and has all the different maneuvers?
Might be faster.
Connar,
Are you the sort of person that brags about how many man hours it takes to fucking perform maintenance on your machines?
Isn't this a woman?
My machine. Well, it's not done yet. But it probably will still work, even if, there's a few things that have yet to be attached to it. She grumbles and kind of like loses the last bit of her sentence under her breath, but then comes back
Yeah,
saying,
that's what I
but
thought.
it'll work. It's great.
I'm sure. Now, where do I get the inflammable fire?
You want to go to Zoe's warehouse.
Perfect. And then I leave.
Jack, let go.
She looks after you like, but there's...
All right, boys, let's go. I know
There's
we're
the
in-
fire that you can't douse. Ugh. She grumbles to herself. The other gnomes are come over and start inspecting your wagon and start like crawling inside of it and underneath it and all over it.
It's just like a
While they were having that conversation, I was back, like looking over the 2 gnomes that had been in the back.
Yeah, I'm
like,
taking the wagon with me. It's like any work you do on there, I charge you 5 silver per the minute. You may inspect, but not alter.
Where is it hiding? This is some great craftsmanship. I can't even see where the levers are. This is amazing.
They're invisible. It's an invisible.
How could you defile the sanctity of mechanics with magic? I've had it.
It's mechanical invisibility. No magic even required.
Mechanical. Well, hold on. The gnomes stop you.
That's a
Zev.
proprietary secret.
Imagine
In order to buy the rights,
system of
you
years.
use the wealth of an entire goddamn kingdom.
No, imagine you have an artist that's painting a canvas, but the thing that you're painting is the same as what's behind it. So it's invisible because it's the same picture as what is behind.
So, you're telling me that the side of this cart is being painted so quickly by something that...
Yes.
how does it get around so fast? Does it just dart? How does it paint so quickly? And he goes up and like touches it.
Hey, stop
It's
touching.
dry. Does it make you sickly? He says as he goes and licks it a few times.
It's been known in the state of California to cause cancer.
A lot of cancer or a little cancer?
This much cancer.
That's just
Probably
beyond
should've.
my cancer threshold.
Yeah, you probably.
All right.
Of course.
I'm
no,
glad that this is something that I have been told, and they let you pass. All right,
Where go?
you make it into
we're going to
the.
Zoe's warehouse, and I'm going to ask a completely different gnome. Probably someone who looks very official and like they're standing or some shit.
There is a gnome who's walking on a pair of mechanical stilts that have mechanical toes that keep like rolling their toes each time they step. He's wearing long purple robes with green splotches all over them and a pointy hat and a stick that has like a claw hand on it that like opens and closes too. He looks very official.
No. Okay.
no,
Yeah, I take that back. I'm just gonna some random street goer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ruby has like the spider wave at him with a leg.
I need to know where Zoe's warehouse is.
You ask the random gnome on the street. He looks up at you and goes, "Which Zoe?"
Motherfucker. How many Zoe's warehouses are there?
Well, there's Zoe and Chloe and Toey and Doey.
The
That's
one that can
one.
sell me the inflammable fire.
Oh, 4th generation inflammable fire. Well, that will certainly draw your enemy's ire. Let's go get it. Hippity hop to the armory shop.
I need the 5th generation shit.
He pauses with like a hard wince in his whole body and looks back to you and goes, "Oh, 5th generation.
The
You
new
don't
stuff.
want that. That's stable.
Right. Well, let's go to the station." And he will lead you in the opposite direction until you come to a warehouse with all sorts of scribbling writing like all over the front. It compasses like the entire wall, and it's like a 20 by 20 foot building with a A-frame roof, not a full A-frame, but a pointed roof and a big door. So it's just covered in writing. And he begins to say, "Welcome to," and then like starts reading the entire wall, which will take
go
about.
in.
Okay, you leave
Yeah, I
him
go in as well.
mid-sentence. Got it.
Yeah.
Not real gnomish technology unless there's a sign in front that says 0 days since our last accident.
The sign is broken. There's currently 2 gnomes trying to fix it. They've got like a crank that like turns the number of days, and then there's another crank that will turn before like since or before, because sometimes they know when they're about to have an accident. And
3 days before the
Neal, I just imagine
Yeah.
there's a hole and a scorch mark where the number of days would be. There's scorch mark days.
well, all the little panels that have like the number of days are out on the floor, and they're arguing over how to affix it. One is talking about using glue, one's talking about using screws, one's talking about using nails. It's complicated. The other thing you're going to notice is that the gnomes that aren't near you are all prattling off in gnomish, but whenever you like walk near a group of gnomes and they notice you, they immediately switch to common and start speaking in the common tongue.
What
Because
is their dialogue
they're-
like? What is the NPC random ambience dialogue here?
How much of a headache do you want to have before the end of the day?
Are there wooden?
I already have a headache, Neil.
Well, don't share the pain.
It's my last time here. I share all the pain I want.
What were you saying, Matt?
Are there wooden buildings here?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Like, are the roads dirt? How advanced is it?
Well, the roads are cobblestones in most places. Other places have squares of wood that have been joined together with little brackets. And they're like all sort of hinged together, almost like you could roll up the road and move it away and replace it with a different road. And then other roads are designed in other ways. You know, some of them are just like a series of metal poles that run back and forth. That way you could like roll things down them because it's just a bunch of bumps that makes it, you know, metal doesn't have a lot of friction over wood or whatever. So you could just like shove a box and it'll slide down the street for easy transportation. But then the horses don't work very well on those streets, and people keep slipping and falling and breaking their hips. And now there's a hip replacement store built right next to the road of rollies.
How many gnomes are in mechs?
That you have seen 0 gnomes in mechs at this point in time. They keep their mech technology locked up in their mountain.
What about that first guy? What was he in?
He
had
stilts. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he was on stilts.
Right.
Yeah,
Very, very mechanical stilts.
yeah, totally.
Anyway, so I'm just gonna go in there, look for someone who looks like I can buy shit from them. Whether that's like a clerk, or if one of them come up to me.
Oh, there's a clerk sitting right behind the counter.
Excellent. I need to buy some inflammable fire.
Well, hello there, little ground-dwelling friend. Welcome to Zoe's shop. You've reached your journey's end. What can I get for you today?
I need to buy some inflammable fire.
Hey, that's what you said before. Welcome through our door. How much fire would you like to buy? And also, please tell us why. We have a little survey here that we'd like you to fill out. And don't worry, this will not be given to anyone without a doubt. Your information and privacy is of the utmost importance. We would never share it with anyone else, even for a pittance.
We tried to buy non-flammable fire once, and it didn't get set on fire. So that's why we need the inflammable.
You see, to the layman, non-flammable and inflammable mean the same thing, but around here, they mean different things.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I need to know about your inflammable fire. What can you tell me about it?
It'll burn, baby, burn. Not to be confused with burning babies, although it will do that too, but that's not what it was designed for.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
we don't really much approve of all of that gore.
Yeah. No. How old is it? How old's your stock? Like, what are the specs of your fire? Like, which design is it?
Please wait one moment right here. And he reaches up and pulls down a wooden sign attached to like 2 little strings that says, "We'll be right back" on it. And then he flips it, because then it says something anonymous. He flips back the other way, so it says, "We'll be right back," and goes to walk away, but then the sign starts recoiling, and he comes back and pulls it down again, and lets go, and it starts recoiling, pulls out a screwdriver and gets up, and he... Thank you.
I got it. Yes, I got it. Go.
Thank you for holding it. And he gets up and starts working on fixing it while you hold it in place.
Mother.
Now, while you guys are waiting for this gnome to fix the "Be Right Back" sign, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Is there like a lone gnome somewhere, like working, and maybe a quarter where there's a lot of chains and dripping water?
You've basically described the entirety of this city. Chains, ropes, all sorts of weird mechanical devices, not very much light everywhere, lots of things in a state of disrepair. Yeah, you find a gnome that fits your description.
All right. I'll crawl along somewhere like up above it in the shadows until I get like fairly close to it while it's not paying attention.
Hold on.
I'll drip some slime on it, and when it looks up, then I'll grab it.
Yep. Some slime starts dripping down. He looks up, goes, "Huh?" Pokes it and goes, "Oh, the lubricant I've been looking for!"
And then it...
And as he finally gets his greatest wish fulfilled, that's when I grab him.
He sees you coming and goes, "Look, there's more!" And please make me an attack roll to eat the gnome.
Don't miss.
Do I get any bonuses for surprise or anything?
Yeah, he's also not really paying attention to self-preservation or defense. He's more like looking at you in the way that one might appreciate a piece of art while it's charging at him with its mouth wide open. So we'll give you a +4, because he's not... There's no dangers here on Gnome. There's no natural predators. Nothing comes this way.
Not like a dragon that's on the other side of the island.
Ah! Ah!
But those screams are also very familiar to the people of Gnome.
He also screams in rhyme. It's quite fantastic. He's polite even as he dies. He has 5 hit points. I don't think you can do less than 5 damage.
I mean, he did roll 5 ones on a...
That's true. Well, he gets +2 to most of these attacks, so
Yeah.
he'll be fine. You consume the gnome. Just so you know, this gnome was working on his master's project.
Good.
He was going to build, he was working on building rope with the strength of chain by creating really thin wire and then binding it together in the same way that you might make a rope to make like metallic rope. It would have been revolutionary.
Like steel cable.
Well, as long as he wasn't curing cancer or anything.
Like the anime, the mech anime.
I don't know that one. Which mech anime? They're like all mech animes.
Okay. There's like a magic one or something about mechs and knights or something, and that was
Escaflowne? That's the only knights and mechs that I know.
Of magic and knights or something. I don't know. Never mind.
Ooh. No, I don't know. No, he was making steel cable. But it's fancier than that, Connar. It hasn't been invented yet. It's not such a plebeian thing, okay? It's really high tech.
Okay.
Neal, Ruby
Yeah, what's up?
is a bit bored by this point. She is just sitting on the spider together with the Gno, playing cards with the skeleton Gno. Both don't know how to play the game, so...
I would want to be looking around. I'm just curious about like mechanical bows. Like how could you make a bow that's mechanized?
I'm
with him. I'm with him.
Yeah, so in this same area where you've got the inflammable fire in Zoe's warehouse, across the street and down a few buildings is the advanced weaponry factory. And
Okay.
sure enough, they have mechanical bows there. They look like regular bows, but they have a crossbow-like wench to operate them, which essentially makes them awkward crossbows. But there's also a different mechanical bow that is like a large contraption, and you pull the string back with manual force and put it behind this thing, and then you can pull the lever so it can fire. It'll just hold the tension whenever you want, and no cranks needed. You just need to be really strong to do it. It's a great improvement over the crank if you have enough strength. And then there's another type of magical bow, which is really, it's called the compound bow, and you pull one bow back a little bit, and then there's another bow behind that, and another bow behind that, and the arrow is designed in such a way that it's attached to each bow, but it's also like a 20-foot arrow, so the first bow gets the arrow going part way, then the next bow kicks in and gets the arrow going a little bit more, and the next bow kicks in, and it's like 5 bows that all one after another fire the same arrow. So you don't need as much tension in each bow. It's great.
Like
it's a beautiful
siege
idea.
All right. Well, I'm just looking over. I'm not really going to buy anything because they're more like siege weapons. But
They're not siege weapons. You can note they're pointed downrange at targets that look like goblins. These are designed for people to carry into the battlefield.
I'm disappointed. I was expecting a bow that instead of shooting arrows, it shoots another archer, who then at the end of that can fire, thus doubling the range.
Well, also in the advanced weaponry range, there is a catapult-looking thing, but instead of like having the thing where the shot would go, it's actually like a saddle, and next to that is the manual feather fall machine, which you strap to your back and then showers feathers around you. So that way when you launch, you can drop feathers below and then you'll land safely wherever you need to go. That is a siege weapon.
Has it been tested?
Well, we've only tested it with gnome-sized creatures, but we'd really love to test it with something of human weight. Are you here long?
No, I'm not really. I'm I'm not a human, unfortunately, so I don't think it's.
But you're human-sized. This is as close to what we need. This is the equivalent bait.
I'll go get some humans. Maybe I'll just get 2
Oh,
gnomes.
good. Bring them. I think to test this is their fate.
Okay.
Do you have like wizard crossbows?
They cross their arms and shake their heads at you.
I mean, normal crossbows.
Of course we don't have normal crossbows. What do you think we are? A bunch of hoes?
Do you have cool crossbows?
Cool crossbows, yes.
I've got 90 gold to spend on crossbows.
Well, why didn't you say? Come on in, my friend. Welcome to the store.
Okay, I walk into the store.
Look at this crossbow and that bow, and there's more. Take a look at and they show you all these things. In the meantime, we'll come back to you in just a moment. Shag, they finally, like 4 other gnomes come out and help fix the sign, and then they all prattle on about what you wanted to buy. They repeat the conversation 3 times, and then eventually Zoe steps up and goes, "Hi, I'm Zoe. Welcome to my factory / warehouse / shop / home / daycare
understand.
center."
I get it. I need to buy some inflammable fire.
That's what he said. Is it something you'd like to rent or buy?
Buy.
Okay, that's fine. I won't ask why. She will take you to the back of the shop. You can pass all of these weird industrial machines doing absolutely nothing, just collecting cobwebs.
Perfect.
Go past the what do you call it? What is it? What do you call the giant crucible that's melting all the metal for their other things?
So on the way back there, I'll ask, okay, so how old's your stock?
Fresh. We
Fresh?
make it every week.
Every week? Excellent. Which recipe are you using?
Oh, it's proprietary. I couldn't tell
not
you.
Specifically, like, 1st gen, 2nd gen, 3rd gen, 4th gen, 5th gen.
5th gen, if that's what you seek.
Okay, that is what I seek. Excellent.
Perfect.
Excellent. Just want to make sure. Someone tried to sell me 4th gen, and I have very explicit instructions to not buy 4th gen.
Good. 4th gen is crap.
Excellent.
Yes, it doesn't burn for frack. She will
All right.
take you and give you a small little bottle with some purplish fluid inside of it. It's kind of viscous. It's got the viscosity of laundry detergent. So it slowly pours all over the place. And she instructs you to hold it over an open fire, which she, of course, has nearby.
Yeah, I'll pour a little bit on there.
No! She says, and you...
Okay, so she says no. I was like, if you want me to make a dex check to...
No, it's got laundry detergent viscosity. It can be all halfway out and you can still prevent it from pouring. Just
right.
hold it in the glass. Good, that'll be a good glass. And sure enough, it starts to heat and bubble, and then it just shoots fire out of the top, just like... And then it dies
This'll do.
off.
This'll do.
Good. Can I ask you, where did you hear about our amazing products?
Was
Was it
my
from a
boss.
group of ducks?
It's not from a group of ducks. My contractor said he needed it, and unfortunately he can't afford to make the journey out here. Yeah. I don't know where he heard it from, but I was the person I hired to build me something. Was like, yeah, I need this stuff. He's like, okay, and yeah.
You don't drop the name Cog Wrench Hammer Bench then.
Oh, of course not.
Okay, just checking. She seems fine with it and is willing to sell you. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Before I sell this to you, we need to know the purpose for the inflammable fire.
I thought you said you weren't going to ask.
Who said that?
You did.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Remember,
a good
right
gnome
before we
keeps
came
their
back?
word. At least that's what I've heard. So forget this. And she just rips up the questionnaire and tosses it into the fire and goes, how much would you like?
How much do you have?
We have 5 barrels.
How much is it per barrel?
100,000 copper. That's what's proper.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's expensive stuff. You know,
Sad.
and we can never make enough.
Do the gnomes?
I don't know. You apparently make a fresh batch every week.
Gives a price in copper. It immediately converts it to gold.
Oh, well, that's a simple machine. We just have to. Well, would we use brass screws or iron screws? And they ponder on this converter for a moment.
For those who are not acquainted with Neal's...
How about this?
Wouldn't you need a philosopher's stone for that to transmute it? But like a metaphorical philosopher's stone?
We just need to move the decimal place to the left by 2 places. But,
Yeah, you can do that in your head. Anyway,
but if we're gonna make it, it should have a secondary function that also tells you who ordered this thing and from where they came. So
I don't know how you're going to
maybe-
do that without magic.
I think we just need an index of all possible names and all possible places, and then a mechanical wheel to sort through them all, and then I mean, it might take a little while. It'll take, oh god.
Well, how would you know if it's right or not? Because how do you know it's not just randomly matching up names and locations?
Right, that's the difficult part. That's where we need the transaxle gear for.
All right. So well,
Anyway,
you're
hold on.
thinking-
Let's deal with this first.
Yes. So
God, that's really the worst.
100,000 copper. So 10,000 copper per barrel.
100,000 copper per barrel, right?
Oh, I thought you said 10,000.
I thought I said 100,000.
Okay, you probably said 100,000 then. My bad. All right. How about this? I'll take 5. I'll take all 5 of your barrels. And I'll give you 2 things. 1,000 gold. 100 platinum pieces.
Yes. Yes. Actually, we'll give you a discount if you pay in platinum.
Oh yeah?
Absolutely. Mrs. Flatulum has a great need of it.
Okay.
Platinum's
so
really
I'll
hard to
give
rock,
you-
guys.
I'll give you how much of a discount?
10%.
10%. All right, 90 platinum pieces for all 5.
90. What a weird way to
That's-
say 90. Why do you do that? Why do you say it all windy?
Just so there's no confusion. Because if I said 19 and I said it like really fast and maybe didn't understand, you could have heard 90, or like maybe someone who's hearing is dumb.
Oh,
So that
that's
way
a very
there's no-
clever solution to the problem.
Yeah,
All
90.
of them. She points to the ceiling and goes, you know why our ceiling is so big? Yeah.
Because your machines are pretty big and they need space to fit.
I asked for a 13-foot ceiling, and they heard 30-foot ceiling.
Yeah, 30.
You know what?
So to prevent
1-3 would have solved all of our problems.
Yep.
Yippee!
And you can go up to 12, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, and then 100, 1,000. Those are fine. 500, like hundreds, thousands, millions. It's fine. It's just like, oh, I need to order 538,933. You could just say 538,933.
538,933. Wow. What an invention.
Yeah. I know,
What
it's
a gift for me. We'll take off another 10% from your price.
perfect. So 80 platinum for 5 barrels.
8-1. Because 10% off of the other 10%.
All right, fine. 8-1.
8-1.
And then how much is it? Is it to rent? I mean, we'll bring it right back. We just
No,
don't even-
no, I'm not renting this shit.
Would you like to rent some?
Maybe, yeah. I could. I'll bring it right back after we're done with it.
Perfect. Half price for rent, but you must bring it back intact.
Okay.
How many barrels would you like to buy? Rent.
Same as him. 5 barrels.
He's buying 1. Just make sure you don't leave a dent.
I said I wanted 5 barrels.
Oh, you do? Well, I'm sorry,
yes,
he's buying
remember
our
I
last
said-
5.
I remember I said I want 5 barrels. And I'll give you 100 platinum pieces. And I was about to go on, but then you got all excited about platinum. But 80 platinum and the chance to look for 20 minutes at what is inside this case. And I'll unscrew the top and show her that there's papers in there, and then screw it back on.
What case?
It's the case that I carried the mechanical dragon schematics around in.
Oh, what's in the case?
I show her that there's paper in there. It's like schematics.
Oh, what sort of schematics?
For something very mechanical, very clever, and potentially very dangerous.
Ooh, that's the trifecta. Okay, deal.
So 80 plat, and you get 20 minutes to look at this.
Yes.
Excellent.
Bring out the didgeridoo. They call. She calls to the other people nearby.
What?
All right, and because I have studied these mechanics, I know which sheet is like the most crucial one. And I'm going to leave that one in the case.
Clever. Okay.
I have a question, Neal. Didn't you change platinum from being worth 10 gold to 2 gold?
It's shenanigans. We use a lot of different rules. None of them really make sense.
Yeah.
They're all
I just have the
conflicting.
feeling that the gnomes don't know really what platinum is worth, and he's actually
I exchanged all
price.
this on the sense that is 10 gold to plat.
Yeah, well,
Actually, platinum is very useful for electronics, so they're probably quite happy to pay even more for platinum.
they want the platinum for its use as materials for their construction projects.
So very good with electronics.
Okay.
It is. They don't have electronics, but the platinum does certain things that other metals don't that they really need.
Also, just asking.
Also very resistant to corrosion.
That's true.
Asking what Droopy's still bored, even playing cards. She keeps looking for the xenomorph. How many gnomes has he killed by now?
That's a good question. New shag, old xenomorph. How many gnomes have you killed?
New shag?
On the overlays, you're now in Connar's place, so you're into the new shag.
No, I just had the one. I'm not a glutton. I come back.
Just the one gnome and 13 cats. I'm not a glutton.
Yeah, so I come back. I guess since Droopy's just bored there, I come up with.
Like Droopy.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah, so while they're
Does
going to
anything
get their thing, it's like, are you ready? Because your time is about to start.
Ready.
All right, so I'll take one out and I'll lay it down. Start keeping time.
They immediately pick up this long cylinder and put the paper on it and try and roll the cylinder across the ground with it, which then produces 2 sheets of paper that come out, one the original and one which is supposed to be a copy, but it didn't work, and so they pause, hold on, we have to fix the didgeridoo, and they start taking it apart, and you see there's all these gears and pieces of glass, and there's these stampy stamps with ink all over them, and clearly the problem is that there's a paper jam, so they pull out the old paper and they put it back together, and they put the sheet back in, and they roll it across the ground.
While this is all going on, I handed them the very first one. It's this is for
It's the cover letter.
Yeah, no, the cover.
Yeah. So they're trying to copy the cover, and the machine is broken, and 20 minutes pass, and they get the machine broken, they copy the cover letter, and then their time is up.
All right.
And they're
then,
still on the phone with tech support.
Yeah, but to
always the paper
her
jam?
future guarantees, all right, I understand you didn't get to see all of it, and then I'll pull out a really shitty drawing that I did of this really shitty mechanical dragon. It was this is my own amateur art skills, but this is what the final product can look like. I show them, Like it's like a dragon, like put it away.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What have you done, Connar? What have you done?
I gave them the cover letter to show them that I have the schematics for a mechanical dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You just give them the rest of it. I mean, what could possibly go wrong here?
Gnome conquers the world.
It's my goddamn schematics. That's what's wrong with it.
Do they have
Alright.
copyright law
Like a
here?
toy dragon or like a actual full-size functioning dragon?
Do we have to worry about like trademarks and DMCA magic takedown?
How to defeat Gnome? Just send them a lawyer, like a letter from your lawyer.
No, I have the original schematics, which are full size.
Okay. All right. So eventually you get all your products that you need. Let's flip back to our wizard in the advanced weaponry shop. What are you doing in there?
I'm looking at their Nomish wares.
What are you specifically wanted to look at? What was it?
Crossbows.
Right.
Normal people.
Right. So they bring you to an actual crossbow. It's like a cross that you might crucify someone on, but it's been turned into a bow. So it's like a ballista, but it sticks straight up into the sky and fires people. Is this what you wanted?
No,
Well, yeah,
this
you
is not
attach a
what I wanted.
person and then you launch them up.
I turn away from this structure, like going back towards the hall. Show me
Okay.
the other stuff.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, this here, this is my favorite one. You put an angry person in this chair, right? Right, and then
Yeah.
you take the cross person and you fling them over there. It's a crossbow.
God.
No? No? Okay. All right.
Okay.
How about this one? And they take you to a regular ballista, and they say, it's a large crossbow. Huh? How about this? You need like 6 people to carry it, and then 1 person to fire it.
And you'll give this to me for 90.
Yes.
No.
Okay, all right. How about this? And they bring you to a suit of plate mail that has 2 small hand crossbows mounted. It's really more of like a breastplate, mounted on the back of the shoulders, and it takes a few minutes for her to put the suit on. And then she presses a button in the middle of them, and the hand crossbows flip up onto the shoulders and then fire straight ahead.
The poor man's Iron Man.
Actually, that's really good. I recommend that one.
Yeah. I'll 90 gold.
90 gold.
I'll take it.
Excellent. They sell it to you. How tall are you?
Does this come with bolts? I'm
Bolts sold
I'm-
separately.
I'm 5'9".
It's a gnome-sized breastplate. We could make you a size version for yourself. We could resize it and ship it to you. It'd be done within a couple months, through and through.
Couple months.
You're a big person.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. I'm listening.
No, you're a big person. It's going to take a while.
Right.
You know?
Well, I'll buy a different crossbow then.
All right. Exasperated, they take you to their last crossbow.
Their best crossbow.
They always save the best for last. This crossbow it's basic. I don't know how to describe it. It's like 5 different crossbows layered on top of each other, all enacted by the same trigger, but there's only one crank. So you crank all of them together, and it readies them all. You put a bolt in each one, and then you aim it, and then you get 5 shots at your target.
Can I try
all
it?
in once? Certainly.
Okay.
How unwieldy is that, Neal?
Yeah, so like, can I pick it up?
You can pick it up. It weighs like 10 pounds, but you can pick it up.
Okay.
All
Can
right.
I swing it? I try swinging it in 6 seconds and like aiming it.
Yeah, so you like pick it up from your side and lift it and fire it, and I need you to roll me a 1d20.
Okay.
Not an attack roll, just a 1d20. The entire thing falls apart. You pull the trigger, and the first shot on the top fires, and then it falls to the side, and then it just like breaks into 12 pieces. And they chase you out of their shop with sticks.
Yeah, I look at them. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And then they start
You
chasing
broke it!
I run away.
Okay. Zev, before we leave Gnome, is there anything you wanted to do here?
No, I'm good. I think.
You sure? You sure you don't want to try something?
Yeah, I think I tried.
You did try and rent some fire, but it was all sold already, unfortunately.
Neal,
Yeah.
Droopy will ask Shag if they could go try to get a improved shovel, to buy an improved shovel.
Oh, okay.
An improved shovel.
We can get you an improved shovel.
Certainly. Well, we have this shovel here. It is serrated along the blade. And that way it's sort of a super spade. You can dig, but if you hit a root, you can just saw through it. And then you can keep digging a little bit.
Like,
We also have a nomadic shovel, if that's what you would like.
It wanders from place to place.
Come take a look. And they bring you to a group of gnomes that are just digging a hole.
it's a nomadic powered shovel.
The nomadic shovel.
At first, I thought you mispronounced pneumatic.
No, nomadic.
No, you did that on purpose.
Does it come with the gnomes?
It does come with the gnomes, yes. They're attached to the shovel permanently. And you'll notice that there is some sort of weird metal contraption holding these gnomes together. They've dedicated their life to this shovel and keeping it repaired and intact and fully operational.
Like Droopy looks at Shag like, how much?
How much is this?
And she talks to them in Gnome for a little bit and turns back to you and says, I'm sorry, they don't speak common.
Neither does she.
Oh, good. Well, then they have that in common. Their request is
no,
not
they don't
for
have it.
money. Well, they have that they don't speak common in common. They request good living, lodging, and to be used frequently and for important things. But otherwise, the tool is free for anyone that might want it, including me. But you have to tend to the shovel and keep it alive and thriving and repair it whenever it gets broken and pay for all the expenses. And the head is made out of platinum, so it's very difficult to repair.
And Kobo said, Droopy, I do not recommend that. A shovel made out of platinum is not a wise spend. It's not worth it.
But he just said that the shovel is free if you take care of the gnomes.
Yeah, but they're going to keep repairing the shovel, and they're going to ask for more platinum to repair the shovel with.
They're a snack pack.
Also, they're a workforce. Free workforce.
Wait a minute.
It's 6
like-
free gnomes.
Still in couples like Droopy. If they do die, you can always use the skeletons. I get you.
If you do die, it's a whole shovel made out of platinum.
So,
Think how much that's worth.
you want this deal. All right. Yeah, we'll take them.
Oh, good. And she speaks back in Gnomish, and they, including the shovel, come over to give you a hug, Droopy. But in the process, the shovel's sort of attached to them, and they accidentally make a charge attack against you with the shovel. Natural 18 on the die. I don't think they have any bonuses to hit. What's your AC?
18.
They hit you with the shovel. Wow. That was really unlikely to happen. You take 4 points of damage as they impale you with the point of the shovel.
Which basically just... I mean, Droopy has enough HP to easily survive that, so it kind of gets onto the dragon scale thing.
It cuts into you, and the gnomes wrap their arms around you one at a time. in this weird chain because they're all sort of looped together.
I mean,
and
yeah,
hug you and hold you and start sniffing you, and then they all start talking in Nomish at the same time.
You know,
at
Droopy is fluffy, so she is a cute goblin. So she takes the hugs, and yeah, it's all nice and all lovely. Also, she then turns to also that shovel, and points at the serrated shovel for herself.
Oh, sure, that'll be 1,000 gold pieces.
1,000 gold pieces?
It's proprietary technology. It's new and advanced. So this is the prototype.
I looked it up and was like, how do you keep the blade sharp? Or how do you keep the serration? Yeah, how do you keep the blade sharp?
Proprietary technology. I can't tell you about what it would be.
How much have you used the shovel?
I cannot speak to that as well. 1,000 gold for it.
So you're selling me a saw that you can use to dig with that'll probably go dull within the first day of using it because you're literally shoving it into the dirt, probably brushing up against rocks and whatnot. All right.
Well, that's why
Have
it
your
comes
fat-
with
I
the
spin
repair
around.
crew.
I spin around and walk off.
Okay.
Yeah, Droopy
You
takes
buy a regular shovel and a metal file.
Oh, I'm sorry, Droop. You can't leave yet. They got to go say goodbye to their families. It's going to be at least a week before they can leave the island. You have to stay here with them.
It's already been a week.
On the island? They'll take a week to say goodbye to all their family and flaying because they have to walk together to all of their different families' houses and say goodbyes, which includes a family dinner with each one. So, Droopy's going to have to stick around for a week more if he wants to play with the
Droopy
shovel.
turns to Shag. Go in, Ellie, to have a talk with crew.
With the gnome crew?
And points at the xenomorph.
All right. Are you guys leaving?
Droopy,
So-
do that here. It's going to be pretty obvious what happened. If our friendo over there eats your new friendos. If
So,
something bad comes about this, I've still got to take my shit back, and I can't do that if I'm.
It's true.
But I also was going to say they have 1 hour. They better run quickly. What do you say to that? Then we can take care of them. All right. Then I'll look turns like they have an hour.
no. They need a week.
They have an hour.
Oh, then you can't buy.
No, they already gave her a hug. Contract.
I'm sorry. They
The
need to say goodbye to their families. That's first priority.
The
Happy with
first
shovel.
priority is the contract they just signed.
A hug is not a contract signed.
Yes, it
we'll
is.
take it to the
Are
Nomish
you-
lawyers.
That's
Are
true.
you all right? Are you going against the cultural contract that is a kobold hug?
All right. Well, you need to give the hike back if you're not willing to go through with this. You need to.
She goes over and starts cranking something on the wall, which lets out this air raid siren that's sort of and maybe 2 minutes later, a team of gnomes in suits and ties comes jogging down the road in formation, going hut 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 hut.
Okay, it's suits and ties.
Yeah.
Please tell me they also have briefcases.
They do. This is the group of Nomish lawyers here. They are on ready command. There's air sirens, each one with a particular tone, so you know what building is calling for help. And they're here to resolve any contractual disputes that may arise in the process.
Hey, Droopy leans over to Shag, points at the crew. Help me with shovel.
Oh, you want the shovel?
Yeah.
I got it.
Hurt me with shovel.
I think they just need to give
I got you.
back the hug that they had, and I think we'll all be good once
How
they
many Gnomish
reverse
Oh my
double
God.
hug.
All right, so I just sit there, every now and then I'll look at my wrist as if I'm actually keeping time.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Wow.
the lawyers get here, I was like, all right,
while that goes on, I'm going to find some random piece of interesting looking mechanism that's sitting around somewhere, tie a string to it, hide behind something, and then toss it right next to the lawyer in the back of the group. Kind of pull it along the ground a little bit.
Oh, it works. The last lawyer in the group, like, ooh, is that a crank? Ooh, and like wanders after the crank.
Just a random crank on the ground which doesn't even do anything.
Well, it could do something. You have to inspect it first to really know what it could do, right? So you hippie fish him into, because that's what that's called, into a darkened alleyway.
Yes.
The crank comes to a stop, and you can hear the note. You don't speak Nomish, so you don't know what he's saying. But,
I was, much to my dismay, hissing in rhyme.
God. You don't know what he's saying, but he is saying something effective. Wow, a self-moving crank that stops at the edge of darkness. I wonder if it's solar-powered. Let's bring it back into the light to see if it moves again.
I grab him and haul him up into the dark.
And he was never seen from again.
Excellent.
Meanwhile, the cadre of lawyers are all busily disputing what a cultural kobold hug really means.
But most
So how many
importantly,
of them
they're
are there?
missing a lawyer.
There were
no-
10, but there's now 9.
All right, I'll fish again.
He's just doing this until all the lawyers are dead.
Do any of them come and talk with me about what has happened?
No. First, they want to get down the names of everyone involved, where everyone's from, how old they are, and how many patents they have, because the number of patents directly correlates to someone's trustworthiness. So before asking what happened, they just ask you, how many patents do you have?
I think of how many pages are inside my schematics, and I don't have a number, so I make one up. 78.
Ooh. And under what account number are they listed?
Just a sec.
Don't tell us your real account number.
No.
What a good idea.
My number patterns like that's the 348527961.
No, that's too many digits.
That's what I was given.
Mine's under account number 3.
Account
And
number,
then
and how many
I like-
patents do you have?
Yeah, well, just look it up. It's under account number. It's under account number 3.
Gooble dog. Where'd it go? Oh, hey, look, there's a crank. And one by one, the lawyers begin to disappear until they're, this happens. Sometimes they get distracted by things, so they have to crank the air raid siren again to get a new group of lawyers to come out here. And it's a problem. Before long, the sun is setting, and the ship is out in the harbor. And you're gonna have to spend the night now because you can't leave at night because the gnomes bring up. They have walls that close in the harbor at night. It's just
Before any of this happens, as soon as the hour is up and you've got one gnome left, I'm just like, all right, their hour is up. You just wasted the 1 hour they agreed that they would have so that they could say goodbye to their families.
that no one agreed to that. She says
They did. So
They
not
did
only
not.
did they gave a hug
That means
to
nothing.
the kobold in question, and they drew blood, making
That
it.
means nothing.
It does mean something. That's the kobold hug. That's
Well,
the
we're not
kobold.
in Koboldia
Alright,
right now,
I'm gonna
are we?
come up-
Koboldia isn't a thing. So you're saying you don't respect my culture,
Hang on.
my
I think
cultural heritage right now.
Correct.
Vote to
I'm
that.
gonna come up and I'm gonna have in my thought.
Okay,
bubble,
Mister,
solve
five
this right now.
Wait, what does the thought bubble say?
It says, I think we can solve this right now.
Oh, God.
Everyone looks to the thought bubble.
There were 10 lawyers. How many lawyers vote that the contract is invalid?
Well, we haven't even looked at the
How many
contract
vote
yet.
right now? How many lawyers vote?
I
the
dispute the false dichotomy of this. Let's get a new lawyer team out to see if this dichotomy is even legal.
I was going to have it be a vote of 1 to 9, since we already know that there's
1 to 10.
So
So
they sound the horn, the siren again, and it's just it's a mess of Nomish lawyers, which are ridiculous and impossible
Before
to
they
reason
get
with.
those, Droopy, are you really that attached? I don't want to. I don't want to deal with another group of 10.
Why don't you just rent it then?
All right. So before the next group of lawyers get here, it's like, fuck it. You guys can't even respect my shit.
Instead of buying it for free, rent them for free, so that they can, they won't have to be saying goodbye, so they'll just return later.
No. They are looking for a lifetime job of operating the shovel, not some part-time nonsense.
Say goodbye to their families.
They haven't yet.
I said, why haven't they?
Because they haven't been bought yet.
Okay, but what if
this isn't working?
Rent you and then rent you back to Gnome? That way.
Because the license to rent is non-transferable. You cannot rent a rented piece of property. That goes against all ethics.
Gnomes and lawyers. That's
Right. So late that evening, before the gnomes bring up the gates that block off the canal to trap everyone in during the night, no one knows why they do this. They did it once upon a time, and they just keep doing it because the cranks keep working.
That's weird.
Yeah,
They keep
no, it's
working.
We'd probably want to get out if we could before then. If
Oh, yeah.
you guys want to.
Now, I'm gonna go back to the docks and like find someone's like, hey, I need to get to that boat out there, and my amphibious wagon it can only go in the water one way, and we already came back here, so obviously we can't go back.
a one-way boat?
Yeah, it's a one-way boat.
My God, how does it work?
That's
Or
proprietary.
not? Oh, okay. Lots of head noddings and okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. All right. You guys can get back on the ship and sail away.
Yeah,
we
that
spent
was
way
the-
longer in Gnome than I thought we were gonna spend.
All right, we're coming back next week, boys.
We are never coming back to Gnome.
Yeah,
Ever.
someone's going back.
Your ship will sink. We might have to add a
Someone's
new.
got to kill that green dragon.
Maybe one day.
I'd say that's a pretty good reason to go back to Gnome.
Okay. All right.
As far as the one-way
You know
wagon,
what, Neal?
What?
Neal?
What?
Before we
What,
go-
Bastian?
No. Gnome doesn't need another fire in the city.
They've had enough fires in their city. All right.
Probably already had like 3 in the general vicinity of where we were at, completely unreal.
Unfortunately, you guys didn't get to see the Gnomish Water Brigade that uses non-flammable fire to put out the fire, but that's a solution for another problem. You see, burn down all of the buildings around it in a controlled burn, and then you let the one building burn on its own, and that way this fire doesn't spread.
I think the gnomes have to still learn that forest fires and fires in the city are not the same.
Well, they don't. They take the Finnish approach to keeping forest fires down. They just rake their forests, and that way they'll never catch fire. Okay.
well,
So-
as far as the one-way wagon, there's a Kurt Vonnegut book where these guys were on a spacecraft that landed on, I think it was like Mercury, and it only had a guidance system to allow it to land. So they were trapped there for years and years, and then finally they get back to Earth, and they're like, "Wait, so how did you get back then?" And they're really embarrassed and like, So after like a couple of years, it suddenly occurred to us to flip the ship upside down.
What book is this?
It was it's a Kurt Vonnegut book.
Mm-hmm.
It's like basically I think somebody, like, it's been a long time, but I think like some group was trying to create unity on Earth, so they sent a bunch of people to Mars
Naturally.
and then built like a Martian military invasion to come attack Earth in order to create unity.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the title of it was. I was on like a Vonnegut binge for a while.
Oh yeah, might be one of his short stories or something. I don't know.
It was a whole book. All those books aren't long.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So
Do we make it back?
you make it back to Bon May. You can make it back up the river. Maybe. Let's roll for encounters.
Roll for
Fucking
encounters,
knows.
keeping in mind that there's 21 minutes left.
Maybe. But you
Rob,
know what?
Rob,
we can still
I have
sometimes
so
go
many
over or
undead
under.
right now.
You can go over or under or through. But I can't find my D20. So, Zev, will you roll me a D20?
Sure.
There's only so many undead minions they can endure.
An 8. Oh. As you're going up the river, you see a brown bear on the banks, but it doesn't bother you. Because it's a brown bear on the banks of a river, and you're on a boat or a submarine, whatever. And it doesn't care. Okay. Next
we're not riding a salmon up the river, which is fine.
Correct. If you were in a salmon-shaped boat, well, you would have been in serious trouble, but thankfully you weren't. The next day, the next leg of the journey, we get to roll on the rare table. Zev, can you give me another 1d20? Oh.
Oh.
Well, no, that just means another non-encounter. So you make it back to Shenanigans with no interesting encounters whatsoever.
We can cry around and scream very loudly to see if we can attract anything if you want to.
It was a plant, a yellow musk, but if it's just growing near the road, it can't really attack you. So it's just there, and you just walk past it without noticing it, and that's that. That's unfortunate.
What other things are on that table?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. Looking at the rare table, you can get onk eggs, sinister bats, talking owls, brownies, great simildens, which are basically saber-toothed tigers, centaurs, chimeras, ettercaps, fire giants, giant wasp swarms, lacrotas, werebears, owlbears, all sorts of evil plants, treants, unicorns, dire wolves, wargs, ghouls. Earlier, you guys rolled on the very rare encounter table where you got the sword spider. It also has things like more giant insect swarms of a different kind. Huvekas?
Oh, Helicuva.
Heokuvas? I don't know.
Almost all of those are
Killer
unable
frogs.
to pack a boat, so we should take more trips on boats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I can only imagine the legendary table. One of the numbers, Big Bad Kane, the vampire, comes attacks you during the night.
Maybe I'll need to make a new table. All right.
So you make it cool if we'd rolled kegs and they tunneled out to try to get to us, and then they
tunnel out into the water and just drown their own tunnels.
Drown. Our colony drowns.
Flooded their tunnels.
All right. You guys make it back to Berkshire intact, if maybe emotionally scarred from part of your journey.
Yep.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm more sad that I didn't get the free 8 undead gnome workforce.
Well, it wasn't worth having to deal with the Nomish lawyers, let's be honest.
And a whole bunch of platinum.
That's true. But still not worth dealing with Nomish lawyers. Even if it was, 3 pounds of platinum, which is 150 platinum coins. Yeah. All right.
Wait, I could have stolen the 150 plat from them.
That was what the shovel was worth. Yeah.
I pointed that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
a
should
3 pack of platinum.
I could have cast invisibility,
Made 500
grabbed it,
gold.
and been off. Damn it.
You could have made bank for free.
Oh my god.
Yep. All right. Anyway, you arrive back in Berkshire. It is Shenanigans is. It's like 10% full. There's still nobody around. It's still empty. By now, Desmond and Borsch are so bored that they have stacked tables and chairs as high as they can, like basically to the ceiling, and then they put Glibglob on top of it, and they're just like throwing oranges at Glibglob, trying to get him to dodge the oranges without toppling over the whole chair table structure. That's how
Guys,
bored
you
they
want to see
become.
something cool? Give me however long it takes the fucking gnome to finish my shit.
Desmond chuckles. You hired a gnome?
Yeah, we'll see who's laughing.
Did you ever hear about the tower in Stoneport, the lighthouse that they built? Go to the library, rent the story of the lighthouse in Stoneport.
Okay, is it good? All right.
I mean, I think you'll just realize how screwed you really are.
We'll see.
And that
Then
is
I go
actually
to-
a story that I can link you
Oh, perfect.
because it's a real story. I wrote it.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to Cog Wrench with the 5 barrels.
Yep, I'm gonna go along with him.
Okay.
I mean, we can all go.
All right. I was like, this better be like literally the last thing. I got you 5 barrels.
Of course, we're basically done. I just need to replace these copper screws with brass screws so it doesn't corrode as much. But it's okay. I'll have that ready for you by next week.
You motherfucker. That's what you said last.
Well, no. Last time
Do you know how much
we
I
had
spent on
flat
this shit
screws
right here?
and we needed rounded screws. But it turns out he sold me copper when I needed brass. So it's fine.
Cog Wrench.
Yeah.
Did you take the screws out already?
Well, yeah. Of course, all of them.
If you aren't done by next week, I'll show you my magic dagger.
Ooh.
You
Does
will
it help
never
you screw things in
Anything
faster?
else. You will never see anything else again.
Why?
He's
Think
threatening
about
your
that
life.
one for about 5 minutes.
It's a riddle. The magic dagger, where
I'll
you'll
show you
see
my
it for
magic
the rest
dagger.
of your life.
Never be able to see anything else again.
I can only see daggers from the rest of my life.
Oh, okay, fine. How about I'll give you a hint. It'll be the last one you see.
I'll only see this dagger for the rest
It'll
of my
be the
life.
last thing.
You're gonna blindfold me with the dagger.
In a sense.
To everybody, here's the.
Neal,
That is not
goddamn
the
it,
right.
It's been enough months. I've paid enough.
Oh.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, but don't you know you have hired a gnome to do something for you? They are great workers, fantastic inventors, but they are notably not very timely.
Can I talk
I've
to-
linked a story for anyone to read if you want about gnomes and the process through which they create their goods, which are always superior when they're finally finished, but it's messy. Anyway, that's that. Let's give you guys some experience.
I want to talk with Coghammer for like 5 minutes before he leaves.
Please do.
Sure, yeah. I'm gonna tell him just the description of this this creature that we had, which is very similar to the thing that you're working on. But instead of having just a dragon head, it has like 5 other Hydra heads, and that would be like a very interesting kind of like improvement. Like you could have more. You could have 1 dragon head, and you could have 5. It could be just a slight modification.
You're right. You could add heads on heads on heads. You could have a dragon head with a Hydra head that comes out of it, and then other Hydra heads that come out of that. So you could have a super long head that can eat everything in a long path. It would be a great farming implement. If we made the heads actually bite the earth, and then the plant comes down the neck, and then it comes onto a conveyor belt, you could farm entire rows with linked Hydra heads. Oh, I'm gonna put this dragon project on the side to work on the Hydra head project.
Pull out
'cause
my
that-
short sword and is like, if you put this shit on hold again, this is
Okay.
going through your chest.
You could just add them on the sides of that. Then it's a dragon, Hydra dragon.
I think the kobold wants me to finish this one first.
Okay. I'll show you, but next time I can show you. I can go. We can go to Bogwarts, and I can show you what it looks like, and then
Ooh.
yeah, we have an example of what this thing looks like.
I'll get my sketching tools. I'll be right there.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all.
1 hour.
Okay. It only takes 1 hour to sketch it. It's fine. I just need to sharpen all my pencils first.
Your hour's ticking.
Okay, so you defeated the spider. You defeated the trolls, which why don't I ever have experience written down for these things? What's wrong with you, Neal?
Magic Patrol.
Maybe. LMNOPQRSTUV. Times 3. You made it to Gnome. Do any of you still have your sanity by show of hands? 2? 2 people have maintained their sanity. Okay, so we'll get 2,000 experience for making it through Gnome intact.
Defeated the bag of cats.
You also defeated a very big bag of gnome lawyers.
You did defeat the Gnomish lawyers. That's worth a 2,000 experience on its own. And you
I
accomplished
think
your
Shag's
mission.
whole bargain with the schematics to like bring down the price ridiculously was pretty awesome.
That's true. All right, everyone, please add 2,590 experience to your character sheets. 2,590.
Hey, the wizard should level up.
That's right. The first level wizard will now be a second level wizard.
All right, guys. HP roll.
All right, let's see it. 1d6 here, 1d4. Here we come. Oh my god.
Yes. Yes.
But you get 5 more spells, or 3 more spells, or some more spells, and can also memorize another one per day.
It's all worth it. It'll be okay.
I think I level up. Or wait, you said 2,090. You said
2,590.
Okay. So is that I now have 5,000 total? Is that level 3 for a fighter?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
4,000 should be level 3.
Okay. So I'll roll 1d12 plus 5 for con. Yeah.
Holy shit. It's a lot of hit points, man.
All right, so I got 10.
Yeah.
How'd you get 5? Or the plus 5?
I have Constitution 19. I just have like I just have everything in Dex and Con. That's it.
19 Dex,
I didn't
19
know
Con
Satyrs
Satyr.
got +1 to con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
That makes no sense.
seriously, they get a minus to charisma.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're weird, like ugly goat men. Seriously.
They're
Like,
not really ugly. That's the thing. They're not really ugly.
they're goat men. They're pretty ugly.
The goat people.
They're goat people, right? Like, would you date a woman with the face of a goat?
Their upper body is basically like a human. That's the thing. That's
They still got goatish faces. Like, would you date a satyr?
no, they don't.
All
That is the
right,
thing.
thank
They
you.
don't.
-1 to con. Charisma.
A satyr doesn't have a goatish face. You're thinking of a
Another
different.
+1 to hit, I guess.
It could be like
Yes.
Brad Pitt on top and a goat on the bottom. I think that's still going to score.
I still think I'm gonna be like, look at those legs, and then you've
I
got
think you'll-
hooves,
I
and
think
you're really hairy down there, and you don't wear pants. Like,
I think there's a similar creature that is. Oh yeah, you're thinking of a fawn. The
Perhaps.
fawn is often depicted as being also has some animalistic features in their faces, but they are not fawns.
Mm.
Fawns is a different one. That's a
Anybody else level?
Rome thing. That's a Rome thing. The fawn. The satyr is a Greek thing.
Anybody else level?
I think I did 5090. That's,
Yeah, if you're a warrior, then you level up 4000.
that's awesome. So let's.
Droopy
4000.
Droopy is a 6th level cleric, so leveling up.
All right, let's hope I don't get a 1 on a D12. Let's see.
1.
Seven.
Come on. you got-
1. There's a 1 in
Seven.
there.
There's a 1 in there, yes, Neal.
It's a 1
Wrong
0.
order of magnitude, Neal.
It's a 1-0, yes.
All right, I've actually had really good rolls here now. So 21, 31 hit points. Jeez.
At level 3?
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. It's beautiful.
At 2. At 2.
I had like 9, 11, and 10. Something like that.
Oh, dear. Well,
All right. This has been Shenanigans. We will be back next week with more shenanigans.
So-
Once again, I will link the story of the gnomes in the Twitch chat in case somebody missed it. This is why you should never hire gnomes to do any work for you. It's in an old Fro document.
so this is it. I can now say goodbye unless I find suddenly the money to pay monthly to be in this cast, or I can disguise myself as any other anybody else.
If
here.
you can pass your disguise check.
If I can pass my disguise check and wear the skin of someone here,
Oh, please don't wear anyone's skin. I like these
I
people.
said it would have physical consequences for you. Don't worry. Don't worry about Neal. It's fine.
Fine.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's been 2 and somewhat years of playing. Hey, I had some characters die. One character who technically became undead, but is pretty much more awesome now. I really hope at some point Big Bad Kane will make an appearance as a vampire. I really hope. And well, Droopy is now adding 13 undead cats. Hey, what a lucky number to her graveyard, to the graveyard of Berkshire. We're just now there, like being cats, only skeleton.
Skeleton cats in the graveyard. Lovely.
Yeah,
Lovely.
only adds more atmosphere to it.
Mm-hmm.
And-
Alrighty, everybody. It's been fun, Bastian. We'll see you around for HOTS and other stuff. And I guess we'll see the rest of you all around next week or something for more shenanigans. Goodbye, everybody. Take care.
Right.